Okay, we're gonna look at the dumbass of the day today. This is a good one.
Gays knew this was what they voted for. There's no like, haha, see, they wanted to take away your rights. They voted for that. They know that. They not only hate other marginalized people more, but they hate themselves.
No, no, and this is already one point in which your ideology makes absolutely no sense because I promise you, and I'll go look this up just to make sure that I'm covering my bases and whatnot, but I'm gonna guarantee you that you refer to white people as colonizers and that, because you already said, oh, the marginalized group, everyone else is marginalized except for white people, so objectively, you hate yourself. You hate a component of yourself, meaning you hate yourself. So obviously that must not be a bad thing because such a virtuous person like yourself is doing it, right? And so what is I mean, it's not only factually incorrect because you're saying that these people hate themselves on the basis of that they voted conservatively because you have no concept of what they're actually voting for. You think that it's this caricature they've painted on CNN where they just hate mothers and they want to something. I don't know. It's some cartoonishly ridiculous caricature that makes no sense.
I feel like we really underestimate them, and it's easy to be like, you guys are so stupid. Look, this was the plan all along. We told you so. Yeah, we did tell them so, and they heard it. And they saw it too.
She's got to be trolling right now. She's got to be trolling. There's no fucking way. Where she says, and they heard it. That old ceiling bird. No. No fucking way. My God. And you hear it again later on. It's so good.
Like, some of them maybe are stupid, but I think a lot of them are not, and it just comes down to the fact that these conservative women think that women are less than. They just don't think women, they hate themselves for being a woman.
No, they don't. And also, how would that be any different? If that was true, it's not. But if that was true, how is that any different from you hating yourself for being white? Ugh. Oh, there's that hypocrisy thing again. Oh my God. But no, they don't hate themselves for being women. You're making that assumption because they will vote a certain way or they recognize objective reality, such as that men are physically stronger in basically every single metric that you can measure strength in, physical strength, and you can't accept that reality, whereas they can. And so you believe that that is some sort of slight against you, and that the only other answer is that they must hate women. You're telling me that you're not going to vote to bail me out of bad decisions? Like, I know that I've had like 37,000 different options for birth control, but I decided to choose none of them, raw dog the football team, and then I should be able to have an abortion now. Fuck yourself. Oh my God.
Like, gay people who are conservative, they hate themselves for being.
No, they don't. No, they don't. And you think Dave Rubin hates himself for being gay? Look, I'm well aware that there are many Christian conservatives who believe gay is an abomination and it's bad and it's terrible and all this other stuff. I am not a Christian or any kind of religious person. I am an atheist. I don't really find anything necessarily wrong with being gay until you start getting into certain components of it, such as lesbian relationships, because we have objective data to prove that those relationships are toxic. They have a disproportionate amount of domestic violence and cheating and divorce rates and like all this other crap. And then by contrast, like a marriage between two men is like better than straight relationships in a lot of measurable ways. So I'm not in the camp of I think gay is bad. I think that it's only bad if it's being used as a tool to do other nefarious things. So no, yeah, and regular people don't give a fuck. So we're not. I don't want you to hate yourself for being gay. That's ridiculous. If you're making a choice to be with someone that you legitimately care about in an appropriate relationship where it's not like, you're with a fucking child or something, then I find no wrongdoing in that. If you're in a relationship, a consensual relationship with somebody who is of an appropriate age, that's a my preference thing, because I don't see it, you have too much in common with someone like that, but I don't see the problem.
Yeah, like that's what it comes down to. I think it's such a cop out to be like, you dummies. I do think that a lot of conservative people aren't super, well endowed up there, but
you don't think, because I don't see a lot of conservative content creators not understanding what that chirp is every 30 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they can put 2 and 2 together to get purple, and which is a lot more than what you're doing, because like you can't seem to understand where that is coming from. Otherwise, you would have changed the fucking batteries.
I also think that it's not that they didn't know. Maybe they like consciously didn't know, but somewhere subconsciously they had that knowledge and they voted for it. And maybe it's that they don't hate themselves as much as they hate other marginalized people, and they want to punish other marginalized people.
Oh yeah, that's got to be it. Because if someone doesn't agree with you, they have to be like cartoonishly evil. Like, it's just like they just must hate other marginalized people. God damn, it must be nice living in being brought up where you don't have to face any adversity whatsoever, and then you still find a way to be in love with the smell of your own farts because you're so virtuous. In your head, you're so virtuous because I care about marginalized people. And so the way that I care and show that I care is by like letting other people know. That's not doing anything, and you're factually incorrect and a retard.
People, but they do hate themselves. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a way for them to be conservative. Conservative women and conservative gays knew this was.
This wouldn't be a way. I just can't fathom that someone would be possibly. Look, you guys have made so many moderates and independents lean way more conservative because you're nuts. You're batshit insane. I think bipartisan politics is a terrible thing, but it's kind of been forged by social norms and culture, okay? We're kind of forced into a camp where it's like, if you vote independent, you're basically throwing your vote away because they're not getting elected. And so you forced us to make this binary choice, which is weird because you guys rather hate binary choices, but you forced basically all the moderates to be right wing because you're just nuts. Does this mean that the right gets everything correct? No. And sometimes they're right for the wrong reasons, in my estimation. But you're making the problem like exponentially worse. So what I would do if I were you, first of all, change your smoke detector batteries. That chirp is annoying. Second of all, really evaluate the epistemology of why you believe what you believe, because it's very clear you have TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. And if most of your videos, I just literally glossed over your playlist, and like 9 out of the videos that I just brushed past had Trump in it. So you are obsessed. You are definitionally obsessed with Donald Trump. I'm going to guarantee you that you were probably still complaining about Trump during the entirety of Biden's administration. But look into the epistemology of why do you believe what you believe, and does that hold up to any sort of scrutiny whatsoever? Because I think you're going to find that it really fucking doesn't. That a lot of your stuff is based off of blatant misrepresentations, outright lies, factually incorrect data, and it's all in an attempt to be this smug virtue signaling shithead. You've accomplished that at least, but if you actually give a shit, like you legitimately give a shit, you would be more informed. This isn't to say that I have all the answers and, oh my God, once you get to where I'm at, then we'll... No. But I can easily point out where all of your shit's wrong. You probably need to do a deeper dive to see the different nuances of where I'm probably wrong. So, anyways, let me know what you guys think. You want me to keep doing reaction videos? I know I have a very small audience, but we're gonna try to boost that up. Thanks, guys.